Guide me home.
That was Turner Country with Rainfall. If you don't know those guys, you should check them out. It's Turner Country Band. They're local, and the guy is actually a war vet. And I saw him at a benefit, and he gave me that CD. So I hope you enjoy Turner Country with Rainfall. You're listening to Mornings of Lone Star. It's 8:15. Like I said, I have Aaron Freeman in the studio. He's the Oak River Financial Group. I think he's the head honcho. I want to say he's the head honcho. He looks like a head honcho, and we're gonna be talking about the 7 pitfalls of women investors, and then of course things going on around the Woodlands, because your investor group is located in the Woodlands, correct?
That's right.
So I'm not gonna joke around. When you told me 7 pitfalls of women investors, I thought it was a negative thing. I thought you were saying something really mean about women who invest, but then you cleared it up immediately. So I want the audience to know this isn't something negative. This is actually pretty interesting and important, because a lot of people don't take this perspective when it comes to investing. And so the 7 pitfalls, do you want to go down like the ones, or how do you want to do this?
I'll tell you what I'll do is I'll kind of give you one at a time, and then kind of give you a little bit of explanation of why, or the thought process behind that. And when I'm giving presentations and to big groups and everything, I'm going through there, and they're not necessarily all pitfalls. I guess if you can either do or avoiding doing each one of these, depending on which one it is that I'm talking about, you stand a much better chance of being successful, reaching your goals. And the one that I like to start with, and I'm probably the most passionate about, is fees. Now, I'm not passionate about fees because that's how I make my money. The truth of the matter is, yes, we are a fee-based financial advisory firm, so we do charge a fee for our service.
Well, isn't that true for all investors?
Yeah.
Is there a fee? Right? I imagine there is. Is it true?
People are in business to make money, so somewhere there is a fee somewhere. But there are investors that are paying over 3% per year in investment fees and have no idea. It is highly, highly likely that we have listeners right now that are paying over 3% per year in fees and have no idea. And different investments have a time and place, but one of the investment vehicles that I see with very high fees is the variable annuity. A variable annuity is probably the most misunderstood financial product when it comes to how their fees are calculated. You've got what are referred to as M&E fees. This is the mortality expense, or the insurance cost inside of an annuity policy. Then you've got the administrative fees. Then you have investment fees, and then the rider fees on top of that. And those could be, like I said, 3% or more. And if we just did some math, let's say that you had a $250,000, or I'll make it real simple, $100,000 account value, and you're paying 3% per year in fees. So that's $3,000 a year you're paying in investment fees. So if the stock market was up 6%, but you lost 3% because you were paying these hidden fees, you see where it's really hard to start getting ahead because of those fees. So again, a pitfall that I see is not knowing what you're paying in fees. Those they're called prospectus. On funds. They're 200 pages. They were written by attorneys for other attorneys in print that's the size of a gnat.
I like these guys. These guys are crazy. It's like the phone bill or something like that.
That's right.
It's really like your cell phone bill.
Exactly. I thought I was going to pay $39 a month for my cell phone bill. I got my first bill as $164. That's what's going on. So know what you're paying in fees is number one.
And that's what you kind of do. You help out knowing and identifying these fees?
Exactly. I say this all the time. You can't really, help somebody go where they want to go unless you know where they are right now. Mm-hmm. So the first thing that we do in our practice is we do a full investment analysis. We take a client's portfolio and we break it down to the very basics. I can do a fee analysis on any investment and break it down to its pure basics and show a client, this is what you're paying every year in fees. Not but to the penny, this is what you're paying. And a good way that I believe to illustrate this is like this. For those of you who are listening right now, I want you to think the last time you filled up with a gallon of gas or filled your car up. What did you pay for fuel? What did you pay?
I paid, I believe it was $3.22.
$3.22. Now, I'm willing to bet that each of you out there, not only did you have a roundabout idea, but you just told me to the penny what you paid for a gallon of fuel. To the penny. Now I want you to ask yourself this. What did you pay last year in investment expenses?
I have no idea. I did not. I didn't pay. I paid zero. If Lone Star counts, but I don't know if that's tangible at all.
Well, I can assure you that most of you guys out there, maybe you had some kind of idea, but for the most part, you really didn't, and that's already raising a red flag for you, because you could just tell me to the penny what you paid for a gallon of gasoline. But when it comes to the most important thing financially to you, you have no idea what you're paying in fees for that.
I mean, I think that's very true, because I think it comes down to where you spend your money, because you don't really know what's going on, and especially with in the investing. That's interesting. So it's fees. Fees are what to watch out for.
Fees, and we'll go through a few other ones.
Okay. So what else you got me?
Emotions limiting returns. There's a cycle of emotions in investing, and it's continually happened, and it's going to happen again. When is it going to be? A month from now, or 6 months from now, or 5 years from now? I don't know, but it's going to happen again. And we have 2005, the stock market's going up. 2006, stock market's going up. 2007, it's still going up. Everybody's excited. Housing's booming, and as the market's going up, you have some people that they're confident, and they get into the market. They buy stocks or mutual funds or whatever it is they want, and those continue to go up, and they go up a little bit more, and now they're excited. They're making money, and then another emotion takes over, the emotion of greed.
That's understandable.
The market makes its peak, and it starts to go down. And then we see a whole nother set of emotions take over. Well, it's not that bad. I said I'm in it for the long haul. I'm fine. And the market goes down a little bit more. And then we get into a situation like 2008 or 2009, and then it's
panic time.
Panic.
Yeah.
Get me out. I don't care. I know I said I was in it for the long term, but get me out. Sell it right now. And that's when the loss comes in. When there's blood in the streets, that's when smart people make their money. And it's very hard for the individual, and I call them the do-it-yourselfer investor, to take their emotions off the table.
And the fees you have to pay to get out, right?
I'm making my point. Yeah. You're not going to forget about those fees.
No, I'm not. I know anytime you move money, there's going to be fees involved.
That's right. But emotions limiting returns. I think that probably one of the most important things, I certainly think that people should have a professional help them in their finances. They just shouldn't pay too much for it. But probably one of the biggest benefits of having somebody handle your money for you is that it takes your personal emotion out of the equation. Mm-hmm. It's money. It's important to you. It's important to us. But my emotions are not going to be the same as one of my clients' emotions. So that's a value there. Another pitfall of women investors, and I think this is a little bit of this is determined by age, is the wrong mix of investments. As you get near retirement and older, your time horizon is shrinking. So your ability to overcome big market downturns is not there. I'm 39 years old. I can be more aggressive than a person that's 69 years old. Honestly, if a 2008, 2009 event happens again, it's going to kind of benefit someone like me, because I'm putting money into the market every year for my retirement. And whenever the price of the market or the stocks is lower, that amount of money that I'm putting in buys me more shares. But whenever I'm retired, I don't have money to put in. I'm in the distribution phase. Mm-hmm. So I would be in a position where I would have to sell more of what I own just to take the same amount of income. So when I say the wrong mix, it's really you have to the easiest way to do it is the rule of 100. It's very simple. Take the number 100, subtract your age, And the number you get from there would be the percentage of your assets or your portfolio that you have at risk. So as we get older, risk reduces. So number 3 would be the wrong mix of investments.
Okay. Well, the folks who are listening in right now, I'm talking with Aaron Freeman of Oak River Financial Group. We're talking about the 7 pitfalls of women investors. And, we're going to take a quick break. And if during the break, if you are by your computer, check out oakrivergroup.com. That's where you can find more about Aaron Freeman right now. But we're going to listen to a couple songs, and then we'll be right back with Aaron on Lone Star in the mornings. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Tina, and I will be your host for a new program on Lone Star Internet Radio. I call it Retro Saturdays. Every Saturday at 5 p.m., I will be playing music from the 1930s to the 1970s. I will play a different genre of music every weekend of the month. You will hear big band music, jazz, 70s classic rock, and 60s oldies. Join us for Retro Saturdays at 5 p.m. every Saturday of the month. Go to irlonestar.com for more information on Retro Saturdays on Lone Star Internet Radio.
It takes something special to make it in the business world. Montgomery County is fortunate to have a diverse pool of industries and businesses. Join me, Cassandra Roshan, Director of Membership Development with the Greater Conroe, Lake Conroe Area Chamber of Commerce for Mind Your Business. I will sit down with our chamber members to talk history, community involvement, and get some tips of the trade on how to be successful in our current business environment. Tune in on the third Tuesday of each month at 11 a.m. to hear from our members of the Greater Conroe, Lake Conroe Area Chamber of Commerce talk about their professional experiences. I guarantee you will walk away with insight of how to mind your business.
That was Abby Walker's new one, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. You're listening to Lone Star in the mornings. I'm hanging out with Aaron Freeman of Oak River Financial Group. You can find more information, if you didn't already, during the break at oakrivergroup.com. And we're going over the 7 pitfalls of women investors. And I want to make it clear to people that Aaron focuses on helping women invest. That's what you like to do. I'm telling you. That title, 7 pitfalls. Someone tells me, I was like, man, that's kind of mean, isn't it? But no. So that's your specialty. That's what you like to focus on.
We really
with women clients.
Have a strong focus on women investors.
Women investors.
Mm-hmm.
So everyone's considered an investor.
Everyone's
right?
considered an investor at some point in their life.
All right. So we're going over the 7 pitfalls. We've gone through 3. My favorite one being fees, because I feel like that applies at every aspect of investing.
I think fees applies in just about everything we do in life.
That's true. Every time money's exchanged, there's always fees. I need to figure out this game. But it's okay. Continue with the pitfalls.
Okay, so getting on to number 4 are longer lives and inflation, or rather, not planning for longer lives and inflation. Longevity is great. It is, as long as you have the retirement income to go along with it. We see more and more commercials on TV about, well, how long will your money last? Will you live out? Will you outlive your money? A retiree's greatest fear is, will my money last as long as I do? So not having a detailed plan for that is a pitfall. The secret killer of all money is inflation. People ask me all the time what I think the single worst investment is. And I think most financial professionals would probably have the same answer that I'm about to give you. And it is a CD. A CD is historically the worst investment that's out there. Because inflation is typically been higher than what the interest rate on a CD is. And I have clients that, they were certainly well aware of whenever they got 14, 15% on their CD money at the bank in the late 70s and early 80s. And I've had people tell me, they're like, well, yes, in 1980, or 1979, I was getting 14% on my CD. Well, that's great. Inflation was 16%. So what you've really only guaranteed yourself of is a net loss. And if it's just taxable money, what I mean is non-IRA type money, it's even worse, because what little interest you did make, you're paying taxes on that interest.
There are those fees again. There's those fees.
Well, I'm afraid that taxes is a fee that we are never going to get out from under. I don't know if we have enough tea to throw in enough harbors
To upset somebody about it.
That's right. But inflation, you have to be aware of inflation. And then, moving on, number 5 is no plan for loss of income due to the death of a spouse. Women are typically going to live longer than men. And I see this in my practice, and why I get asked why the focus on women. I can see out the window right here, and there is a meter lady that looks like she's about parking control. She's at my vehicle right now.
Uh-oh. I wouldn't worry about it. She's just scanning. You have 2-hour parking.
Okay.
Everyone gets freaked out. She's just a
There's those fees again.
Yeah, she's such a nice lady.
Those fees. No plan for loss of income due to the death of a spouse. And I'll have, so getting back to the focus on women while answering that question is, for so long I had, women come into my office or a seminar or talk to me and say, my husband passed away 6 months ago or 3 months ago, and I'm confused. And I said, you know what, let's fix this problem before it comes a problem, because a lot of people have an investment plan, but very few have a detailed income plan. If your spouse dies, and in my example here, I'll just say your husband passes, there's going to be some Social Security that is lost. Now, you can choose to have the higher level of the Social Security, whether it's yours or his, but one of them is going away. Maybe a pension is reduced or completely lost. So we have to take the time to develop a plan to show where we're going to make up that lost income. And without, this is sad, but it is true. This is a fact. This is not just me coming up with this. The average person spends more time planning their yearly vacation than they do on their retirement.
I think a lot of people don't realize that too when it comes to the word investing. It's not more of like so you can make money. It's more of when you're not doing your primary career and when you retire, that's really what the goal is. So you have some sort of income when you're retired.
You're exactly right, and you are already way ahead of the game. There are only 2 ways to make money in this world. Either you get up and you go to work and you earn money, or the money works for you. And whenever you've retired, just like you said, you've eliminated one of those ways.
Oh, yeah.
So, having a detailed income plan is important. Not getting advice from qualified, objective retirement planners. I refer to it as getting eaten alive by the sharks. There's questions that you really should ask a financial professional before you hire them. Questions like, how do you conduct your business? What experience do you have? Describe your typical client. What you're trying to find out is, does this person have experience dealing with someone like me? Who will be my advisor? Yes, I understand that you work in the local branch office on the corner of whatever brokerage firm, but if I have a detailed question about my account, if I have something that's very important that needs to be answered, is it going to be you that answers it, or are you going to have to call the office in New York and find out? What you really want to know is, who does the buck stop with? Who's the king daddy rabbit that answers the questions? And I'm going to give you a little bit of keys to the kingdom here because it's okay to trust people. It is, but you still need to verify what they're telling you to. And the easiest way to do that, and I'll give all you a moment to grab your pens or pencils, but you're going to want to write this down. Broker check. Whatever your search engine of choice is, whether it's Google, Bing, whatever it is, just Google broker check. And whenever you type in broker check, it's going to bring you to a tab. You can click on that.
It's one word, folks.
One word. And you can see, actually, you have your computer there pulled up. It says search, and it brings you to a website called FINRA, FINRA. Once you get there, you can type in a search, and you can type in the person's name or their firm. And it's going to give you all the information about them. Have they ever been professionally disciplined? How long they've been in this business.
I found you.
Well, I can tell you I've never been professionally disciplined. I've never had a single...
We're checking you out. Here we go. Oh, wow. This is weird.
Yeah. Here's a thing that I like about this, too, is...
brokerage check?
Broker check.
Broker check.
Right. And I actually had an advisor that we were at a conference, and he starts telling me all about himself, and he tells me, he says, yeah, I manage about $400 million. And I said, oh, that's great. Well, as soon as he walked off, I look him up on Broker Check, and this guy has $28 million under management. Now he's telling me 400. Okay, so if you want to know if somebody's shooting you straight, go to Broker Check, type in their name or their firm's name, and you'll get the information on them. Now, this will be a red flag. If somebody's holding themselves out as an investment advisor, and you type in their name and nothing comes up,
I never knew this. This is
cool. Then they're not a securities licensed individual.
Because this is through the government right here.
Yeah, that's the SEC. Yeah. That's the Securities and Exchange Commission. I'll tell you, and this isn't one of my 7 pitfalls, but investors ask is that, well, are you a member of the Better Business Bureau? Better Business Bureau is great, but the Better Business Bureau doesn't have any regulatory authority over investment advisors. It's not like the Better Business Bureau is going to walk into Oak River Financial Group and say, hey, you've been doing clients wrong, we're going to arrest you. The SEC walks in there with handcuffs. So, whenever you go to Broker Check and all this stuff, you're going to the top of the food chain as far as...
Look, I can print out up to 7 pages about you.
Yes.
That's really creepy.
Mm-hmm. So, again, I say it's kind of keys to the kingdom, but you can find out is this person BSing me, and you can look them in the eye and say, hey, look, guess what? The filter is full. I figured you out. Like I said, it's okay to trust people, but you need to verify.
Do your homework.
That's right.
Well, Aaron, we're going to finish the 7 pitfalls. We're going to take a quick break here. I'm hanging out with Aaron Freeman of Oak River Financial Group. We're going over the 7 pitfalls of women investors. And if during the break, if you haven't already, check out oakrivergroup.com or look them up on Facebook. Just look up Oak River Financial Group and like them. And I'm hanging out with Aaron. We'll be right back. Here's a little bit of Josh Tillman with Cowboy. You're listening to Lone Star in the Morning. We'll be back.
Let's go to Lukenbach, Texas.
Tired of Waylon, Willie, and the boys? Join me, Gordon Lockhart, for Beethoven, Bach, and the Boys. Every Saturday from 8 to midnight on Lone Star Classical Music After Dark. Symphonies, concertos, and sonatas by composers such as Mozart, Tchaikovsky, and Bernstein. That's Lone Star Classical Music After Dark. Every Saturday from 8 to midnight on irlonestar.com.
Hello, I'm Mark Hader.
And this is Cindy Cochran inviting you to join us on the Cindy and Mark Show each weekday morning from 10 to 11 here on Lone Star Internet Radio.
Super, Cindy, but I believe it's the Mark and Cindy Show.
Huh? Yes, it is, Mark. And it's broadcast live on Lone Star Internet Radio here in beautiful downtown Conroe. Oh, the exciting things we'll talk about, the interesting guests you'll get to meet, the wonderful gifts we'll give away, and the tons of...
Wait. Gifts? There are no gifts. I'm not giving away anything. Why do you get to decide on what we do? It's Mark and Cindy, remember?
Oh, yeah? Well, so ladies and gentlemen, tune in and we'll all find out who gets to decide stuff. Weekday mornings at 10 here on Lone Star Internet Radio. How was that?
It could have been worse. You could have sung your part.
Oh, yeah, wait. It's the Mark and Cindy Show. The Mark and Cindy Show. The Mark and Cindy Show. The Mark and Cindy Show.
That was Dawn Williams with She's With Me. You know who's with me right now? It's Aaron Freeman of the Oak River Financial Group. We're completing the 7 pitfalls of women investors. If you guys didn't know who Aaron Freeman is, Oak River Financial Group, he's the head honcho. The King Rabbit, is that what you like to call yourself? Is that what it is?
No, I said you need to know who the King Daddy Rabbit is, but I would not refer to myself as the King Daddy Rabbit.
Looking at your report, I believe your full name is Aaron Michael Freeman.
That's correct.
I got the report on him, broker check. Looked him up. He seems legit. Okay, guys, just letting you know. But we're doing the 7 pitfalls, and also to let you guys know, Aaron Freeman focuses on helping women investors because it's a different mentality, and we're going over those 7 pitfalls. Is this the drum roll like for the last one, or what are we?
Yeah, it could be a little bit of a drum roll, but the last one is no overall plan for retirement income. And I know I've kind of touched on this a couple times already, but there is a very big difference in an investment plan and an income plan. I run into this all the time. People say, "Yes, I've been with this broker or whatever, and he handles my stocks and my bonds and stuff." And I'll ask, "Well, have y'all designed an income plan yet?" And I get, "What do you mean?" An income plan. What's an income plan? A detailed income plan. A detailed income plan is knowing.
What's the whole purpose of investing? It really is like that. That's
right. Two phases of investing: the accumulation phase,
and then knowing what you're going to do with this money that you invest,
and then the distribution phase. So, what does that distribution phase look like? And I ask this question to folks all the time: what plans have you made to double or triple your income through retirement? Aaron, I'm on a fixed income. I thought for a minute there, I thought you said triple my income through retirement. Well, I did. Things are going to cost more tomorrow than they do today.
Oh yeah,
we already talked about inflation, right? We know that a gallon of gas today is significantly more expensive than whenever I first started driving, and certainly a lot of these listeners when they first started driving. So you have to have more retirement income each year just to buy the same amount of stuff. And not having a detailed income plan could be very, very dangerous, because at that point, if you don't have a detailed plan, then you're just kind of winging it. Well, my broker says I've got enough money, I can take this amount of money out this year. Well, again, hope is not a retirement strategy. Hope is not an income plan. So what we like to do is develop these income plans where we're showing our clients where their income is going to come from each year and how that income is going to keep pace or exceed the rate of inflation. When we design these portfolios, we want to have a portion of that money that's safe. We want to have a portion of that portfolio that's allocated to income, and then we have a portion allocated to growth where we're still looking for some capital appreciation in there. And an approach like that allows us to double and triple that income through retirement. But it just takes a little bit of time. We already talked about most people planning for their vacation longer, or spend more time planning for their vacation longer than they do their retirement and their retirement income. If I were to be asked, how much time do you think it actually takes an individual to come into my office, meet with me, not what I do, but their personal time to do a full retirement plan and income plan, I would say that it would probably take somewhere between 3 to 4 hours. Is it worth spending 3 to 4 hours of your life to make sure that the next 15 to 20 are what it's supposed to be? I think for most people the answer is yes. I think I can give up 3 hours to make sure the next 15 years are where I need to be. But those are at its core, those are the 7 pitfalls. And I say women investors, but they could be just as easily applied to investors in general. I just, at my firm, we really focus on women investors.
Well, it sounds like you have a strong hold of it too. And I've got a question. How long have you been over there in the Woodlands? Because people didn't know that if you're just now listening in, I'm with Aaron and Michael Freeman. of the. I love how I can look this up. This is so creepy. The Oak River Financial Group at oakrivergroup.com. You guys are located in the Woodlands.
That's right. We're off Booty Road, which is right off 45 in Sawdust. I think, were you about to ask me a little bit about how long we've been there?
Yeah, just because you're part of the community, and
again about broker check, you can see the length of time. You can type in Oak River in there and find out about the firm itself, not just me, but Oak River. Again, that's broker check. Broker check that you can find that information out.
Is it 2008?
That's when I first got my securities license.
Okay.
But if you go in there, if you go back to the original search page, you can type in Oak River instead of just my name and find out about the firm.
Man, this is great.
So Oak River, to give you a brief history, there was a bank in southeast Texas, Beaumont, Port Neches, Port Arthur area, called First Bank and Trust. And that bank was owned by a congressman named Jack Brooks. And Jack Brooks was a congressman in that area for 40-something years, a long time. And in 1998, another bank came in and made an offer to buy the bank, and they ended up selling the bank. Well, at that time, my father, his name is Gary Freeman, he was the vice president of the bank and the director of the trust department. So the bank got sold, and they took the trust department and they spun it off into what's called a registered investment advisory firm. And real quick, I want to tell you the big difference between me and what a broker does. I have a Series 65 securities license. I'm an investment advisor representative, and my firm, Oak River, is a registered investment advisory firm. A broker is a person that brings a buyer and seller together, and they typically receive a commission for doing
fee?
that. There's that fee.
Is it a fee? Okay.
And an investment advisor has a fiduciary responsibility for their client. So am I morally obligated to do the right thing for clients? Yes. But I'm also legally bound to act in their best interest. A broker only has to follow a suitability standard.
Now, why are there two different? Why are there two of them?
Well, that's a big debate right now.
Because I imagine everyone would go with someone like you.
Well, that's starting to be the case, and that's, again, like I said, that's a debate right now, because these large big brokerage firms are not wanting to be held to a fiduciary standard. They're saying that it would increase the cost to the consumer. That's some BS for saying we think we might lose some
money,
some clients, and a bunch of money if we follow a fiduciary standard. So
well, they just got used to their system, So who wants to change things?
I think we can all agree their system is broken.
Yeah.
But so anyway,
that's cool. I never knew that. I never knew that difference.
Most people don't. But I think it's getting out there a little bit more now. Fee-based advisors and somebody that is legally bound to act in your best interest is I think that's going to be around going forward. The days of the just churn and burn brokers, those days are done. But anyway, so they spun the trust department off into a registered investment advisory firm and called it Oak River Financial Group. And then in 2004, my father bought all the minority shareholders out of Oak River. Then I began working there, and then in 2010, I bought the firm from Gary. So now, as you say, or as I say, I am the King Daddy Rabbit.
King Daddy Rabbit
up there.
All right.
So anyway, so since 1998, Oak River's been in business, and in the Woodlands since 2005, 2006, somewhere in there. So we had offices in Beaumont and up here in the Woodlands.
Okay. Well, this is pretty interesting. And so if I was a potential client, how can I contact you? Do I just need to go to oakrivergroup.com? What's the best way you want your future investors to call you?
They can call the office directly. The office number is 281-719-5295. Again, the office number is 281-719-5295. They can email us. There's a contact page.
I'm there right now.
Okay. It's oakrivergroup.com. They can put the information in there as well. Whenever they do put their information in there, they'll automatically get our monthly newsletter. There's good information, hot topics in there.
I added one more pitfall.
What's another pitfall?
No, you added one more. I want the update.
What's the 8th pitfall? There's always
broker check.
Broker check.
I guess that's number 6. So
that's right. But I think that's probably fees and broker check is if you were going to pull two good things away from today that you could use to put to work. What am I paying in fees? And I'm going to figure out if you're telling me the truth or not by going to broker check.
Well, Aaron, I want to thank you for coming in and being part of Mornings with Lone Star.
I've enjoyed it.
Aaron Freeman is the King Daddy Rabbit of the Oak River Financial Group. More information about the Oak River Financial Group, just visit oakrivergroup.com. And they have basically all the information is on that website. And don't forget to call them, 281-719-5295. That's the phone number. And then they have a little contact button. It's easy to get involved with King Daddy Rabbit. And again, thank you so much. I like it. You should put that on your business card. Thank you so much for coming into the studio. And we got a lot lined up today for Lone Star Internet Radio. We got the Mark and Cindy show coming up at 10 o'clock. They have a special guest. I think they're going to go over the guy who's filming the pet parade at the Montgomery County Fair. But we got good music coming up. Don't forget to send me your song request. But here's some John Wolfe with his new baby. You're listening to Lone Star in the Mornings.
Hey everyone, this is Tina, your host from Retro Saturdays. I wanted to invite you to visit the Lone Star Studios here in downtown Conroe, Texas. We're all volunteers here, and we need your help in serving the Montgomery County area. Radio media is a fun field to be in. Lone Star Internet Radio serves Montgomery County with news, current events, local programming, and of course, music. If you are interested in volunteering and sharing your talents in media, go to irlonestar.com and let us hear from you. Lone Star Internet Radio, serving Montgomery County from the heart of downtown Conroe.